Hello everybody, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a project like this. It is cool, but it's very simple. When you press space, however, it may have a little delay. It will stamp itself. It will stamp every costume it's through. And you can go left and right to find different sprites who also have their own. Note that in Scratch Cat, 2 of the costumes are actually made by me and not by Scratch. So let's go to it. I've already pre-imported the pen, already made some backdrops, plus I've already renamed this cat. I've also made this costume 3 just so the numbering's easier, but you don't have to worry about that numbering. Start off with, let's do one green flag clicked, show, go to 0, 0, do it forever, next costume, wait a tenth of a second, that's 0.1, and we can also erase all, because we're going to be stamping. So let's go see it. It's weird. The cat is moving both of its legs back and forth. It's just weird. So let's go and prove that. So start off with duplicate the first costume. It'll become the second now. And our then second costume, which is now our third one, we can take its back leg, Control C, delete this back leg, which is in the second one, and do Control V. Make sure this goes to the back, if it's not in the back already. And let us add the fourth one. We're duplicating the third one now. Move and turn the leg. Should be right here. It's a bit weird, so I'm going to quickly redo this. Okay. Know that if you move the body like I did, you could restart, but if it's close enough to how it was before, it's gonna be good. I just redid the body. I just redid everything for this. So let's go ahead and see. So it looks like its legs are looping around when it's done, but it's still okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I have Scratch add-on so I can pause. Let's worry about the stamping now. Make a block called stamp. Make sure it's run without screen refresh. This way nobody can see it. Let's go to x minus 150, y minus 100. And we can also do costume 2, 1. Remember this. If we don't do costume 1, then we can start on a completely different costume. And let us go and do repeat 4. And in repeat 4, we are first going to stamp ourselves. We can go to the next costume. Sorry. And we're going to change our X by 100. Anyway, let's go ahead and also set ourselves back to 0, 0. Let's go see. Space, it may have a little delay again. And, oh, I forgot about this. And then we have a key space pressed, then we can call stamp. Now, the one thing is we can continuously press space, and it can continuously make stamps. In fact, it'll be easier if I show you like this. Don't even put costume 1 in. As you can see, we're overlapping really weirdly. That's why we need to make a way to not stamp as much. First of all, just make sure to plug in the Scratch costume 1 switch back, and now let's make something called stamped. Make sure it's just for the sprite only, it'll be much easier to do like that. Set stamp to 0, and immediately when we stamp, set stamp to 1. Get an and out, get an equals on one side, and put the space on the other side. We're now going to make sure that stamped equals 0. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's just make sure it works. as you can see, it's much easier if I do this. Just take off the costume 1 for a second. But I can't continuously doing it. Keep me continuously doing it. And that's because stamp is set to 1. And in the beginning, stamp will be set back to 0. Good. Now let's worry about some other code of the ballerina and the dog. To do this, just get the 2 sprites out, ballerina and doggy. No, it's called dog 2 here, so I'm gonna have to rename it back to dog. Anyway, in the ballerina code, let's just copy the cat code pretty much. Now, before we do anything, we need to start off by hiding. Important. And in here, to switch costume to ballerina A. Now, into the backdrop scope we go. Start off with doing if key, right press. This will check if we're going to go to the right. Start off by doing if. Okay, now we need a new variable. Number. And it's going to be 12 sprites because we're in the backdrop. Make sure it is 12 sprites. In the beginning, actually, we can set number to 1. And in here, we just check if number is less than 3. This will make sure that if we are on the 3rd one, we won't go any farther than it. Anyway, I just go check. After that, we check. Let's also get the left arrow out. And over the left arrow. First of all, change number by 1. Then, we're going to make one more thing called character. You also don't remember the switch. But we're going to have to use it. Now, make a list as well called characters. It may not be again as common, but it's going to be useful. Now, let's change it. Let's add cat, ballerina, and dog. I'm going to call it doggy. Start off by setting character to item of characters number. Anyway, and so we can also duplicate that into here. Just make sure that it's -1, and oh yeah, let's also make sure number is greater than 1 to move left. Now, before we do anything, just go in here, get an if else out, and check if our character, which I'm accidentally playing here, is equal to cat. Then we can show, else we can hide. Now make sure one more important thing happens. Get an and out. Now remember that and number are technically the same, so it's gonna be, you don't have to have a character. You can just switch them all for number. But I'm just gonna have it to make it a bit easier. Anyway, put and character equals cat, or also be number equals 1. Then we can stamp. So one thing is that our character set to 0. We should really work on that. Set to cat. As for you, doggy, we can hide. So yeah. Let's go ahead. So Scratch Cat is hiding like super weirdly. Let's go check that out. Well, actually, first of all, let's just do a few things here. One, we should also be hiding just in case. Let's first get that out. Ballerina. Get the character and character equals ballerina. So first one, okay, that's good. So let's really worry about the setting of the character in here. So actually, in the beginning, we can set it to cat, which actually, okay, for some reason it's stamped there. I was accidental. So character back to cat. Anyway. But, let's see. Space. Okay, so let's worry about this other code. Before we do anything, we can see that our cats are still here. Before we do that, actually, also, let's just make sure we can move left and right. We can move left and right among these. Anyway, the important thing here is that we have to erase all. So make it broadcast and call it reset. And we're also going to add reset right here. And simply when I receive reset, it's stamped to 0. And we erase it all. Now good thing about Scratch is that if you have anything such as personal variables, which are also your sprite only, and the other sprite has the same name, and if I just go in, it will still set it to this sprite, the ballerinas stamped. So let's worry about that actually. Let's just see if it works first. As you can see, the ballerinas code is going pretty fine. This means that pretty much the only things left are this. And yeah. There's actually one more thing I want to do at the very end, but first let's worry about this code. We actually, one thing we don't need in this one is, again, as usual, number and character. Stamp should be at 0. Now, I'm going to choose a different one here. Like minus. We can do something like, again, minus time minus again. I don't know, 180. And we can do minus 100 as usual. Remember to change to repeating too. And we can change the x by 180. So, yes, let's just go check it out. Oh, yeah. If character equals doggy, or dog, whatever you call it, here, doggy, and let's go check that out. Space, space, space. Okay, so this is weird. And I think I know why. So we can change it by 360 instead. This will be easy. This will be better. But space, space, space. And we can also move left and right. Now it's just time to worry about the stage. Simply do, when green flag clicked, forever, switch backdrop to number, which I for some reason commented. But anyway, let's go check it out. I have a yellow backdrop, and the Scratch Cat is appearing. Ballerina appears in pink, and Doggy appears in purple. So that's how you make the Saber project in Scratch. I hope you liked it, and this also uses a pen, just remember that. There's no new sprites required, and yes. Note that some positions may be a bit different, like Dog's position. It's at minus 90, so it goes forward 180. But other than that, it's the same. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new, and bye.